Hey there, we're Shannon and Jerry Arner, your hosts of the Arner Adventures podcast.
We're a minimalist couple driven by intentional living and adventure.
Burned out from the 24/7 grind of running our business, we traded the hustle and the bustle for something more meaningful.
We parted ways with most of our belongings and moved to the coast.
Listen along as we chat about life's challenges, share inspiring stories of those who have taken big leaps to live a life outside of the norm,
and help you live with more intention and less physical and mental clutter.
Each episode is a step toward doing and being just a little bit better for ourselves and the world around us.
Life's an adventure after all. Join us for the ride.
It's the Arner Adventures podcast. Hello everybody, I'm Jerry.
And I'm Shannon.
And we are back for episode 165 of the Arner Adventures podcast.
That's right. We are starting a series of different episodes that are all the same theme. You know, that's what a series is.
Yeah.
We did this once, I think it was last summer, when we talked about sustainability, the 5 R's, recycle, reuse, all of that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Well, we thought we would do a series about journal prompts because Jerry and I do talk a lot about journaling. Jerry, you're kind of the expert, I feel like, in journaling.
Uh-huh.
And as much as we talk about mental health, we thought, hey, why don't we do a series of episodes of different kinds of journal prompts that are really helpful for different genres of whatever it is that you're working on.
Yeah, man, it's a good idea. Journaling is I think one of the most helpful tools out there as far as like self-help things go.
Yeah, so this is going to be the first of 4 weeks. So this week we are going to talk about journal prompts for self-reflection. So it's just a really great way of sort of exploring the inner you.
Yeah.
And I think these are really good for anybody, no matter what it is that you want to be journaling about. Or I don't know if Jerry, you do this, but I have found that when I have prompts for when I am journaling, it really helps to get me connected with different thoughts or emotions and sort of controls sort of the chaotic thoughts that are going in my head. And then I get overwhelmed, or what am I supposed to be writing about? And it just helps keep me more on track.
Yeah, I use them. I use them too, and I like them. If you all of a sudden lose your train of thought, you can just look back at your prompts and a new one you haven't used maybe, and kind of and go off of that. If that only works for a second, then you go off another one. So it's good to have a long list of prompts you can work with.
Yeah. So, this week's theme of self-reflection, it's just a really great way to uncover new insights, maybe take action of things that are going on, help you live more authentically. One of the things that I wanted to point out was, as we were doing some research for this, and Jerry actually is the creator of all of these prompts. He's really good about this stuff. But as we were sort of doing some research on journaling, we found that there's a study where people who journal have a reduction in their depression and anxiety symptoms, which I thought was really, really great.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm not surprised though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think without further ado, maybe we just go ahead and get into these 5 journal prompts for self-reflection.
Are you feeling overwhelmed by all the stuff piling up in your life? We've got something just for you. It's the Arner Adventures Declutter 365.
Declutter 365 is our easy-to-follow guide designed to help you clear out the clutter from every corner of your life. Whether it's the pile of stuff in your home, the endless digital files on your devices, or even the mental load that keeps you up at night, we've got you covered.
Every day, you tackle a simple task that helps you chip away at the clutter. And the best part? You can start anytime. There's no need to wait for the new year or a Monday. You can dive in whenever you're ready.
Over the span of a year, we'll tackle physical, mental, and digital clutter. Imagine having a more organized home, a cleaner inbox, and a calmer mind, all without feeling overwhelmed. It's all about taking small, manageable steps that add to big changes.
Join us on this journey to a simpler, more mindful life. Head over to arneradventures.com/shop.
Let's make space for what truly matters. And now, let's get back to the show.
So get out a pad and a pen, and you can write these down. Not necessarily in your journal, but if you are journaling too, I think a lot of people like to. Sometimes it helps maybe to, if you want to buy, well, you'll have to buy something. but you can have a regular notebook, or there's some nicer ones you can buy. And people like to kind of decorate them up a little bit, personalize them. So anyway, for now, just have something you can write with to write these ideas down.
And if you are interested in a journal to purchase, we do have a link to some really great ones that really encourage like self-reflection, self-care, and they're in our show notes.
Okay, so let's get going here. Number 1 is, what new opportunities have come from the challenges you have faced? Every challenge holds growth potential. This prompt is going to invite you to look back at the obstacles you've overcome, recognize how they've shaped you and your journey, because oftentimes the tougher times can lead to the greatest opportunities, right, Shannon?
Yeah, I agree. This is a good prompt where you can really reflect on a challenge you faced recently, and you can look at what positive outcomes or opportunities arose as a result. Lots of times you can kind of, it is hard to sort of see that in the challenge that you have, to say, okay, what opportunity came out of it. But when you are really going, all right, I think we can all say what challenges have we faced, and you can write those down. But then, all right, now that I have that and I can reflect on it, what positive outcome came as a result of that? I think it's easier when you're journaling and sort of self-reflecting on it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I think so too. And of course, at the time when you're facing your challenges, you don't see what good sometimes will come out of it.
It's hard when you're in the middle of it.
Middle of it, yeah. But usually afterwards, you can go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was growth there.
There was.
That kind of thing. Yeah.
Well, number 2, and I think this is a really great one, and I've talked about before how we all need alone time. But number 2 is, how do you savor the time you get alone? So alone time is an opportunity to recharge, reflect, reconnect with yourself. Mm-hmm. Some people find it difficult to think about, oh, well, I don't know. I don't want to be alone, or I don't want to have time alone. It is so important for everyone to have time alone. It's like when I talked about the solo travel podcast. Sure, I love traveling with Jer. I love traveling with someone, but I have really learned more about myself and who I am when I have traveled by myself. And so similarly, how do you savor the time you get alone? This prompt encourages you to really think about how you make the most of your solo moments and why they're important for your well-being.
Yeah. So you can describe the ways you enjoy spending your time alone. How does it make you feel? And why is this time valuable to you? And I can tell you, and I agree with Shannon, that it is valuable. And when I was younger, I don't think I liked to be alone that much. I thought I felt better if I was around other people or whatever. But I wish I could tell that younger version of myself, how important it is.
Same.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I remember being so afraid to eat in a restaurant by myself.
Yeah.
I did this as an adult. I was scared.
Oh, not till that long ago.
Right. Yeah. And now, oh God, I can do it no problem.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you find too that if you don't have time by yourself, you're going to miss out on a lot of opportunities.
Yeah.
If you're always waiting for someone to do it with you, or if you're always waiting for someone to do something that you want to do when you want to do it,
Yeah.
Alone time is just really important.
And you don't have time to process your thoughts when you're always around other people or just around all kinds of stimulation.
I agree.
And really sort through your thoughts and realize how to prioritize and what's important and stuff like that.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Number 3, how do you embrace your authentic self, even if it looks different from what others expect? This prompt is going to encourage you to reflect on what it means to be true to yourself. We all got to be true to ourselves, especially in the face of external pressure.
There's a lot of that.
A lot of external pressure, especially these days. Embracing authenticity is a powerful act of self-love and personal empowerment.
Yeah, so think about a time when you embraced who you truly are despite of not fitting into others' expectations. So what did that look like? How did it make you feel? I think, and if you can't reflect on something like that, maybe write down a goal for how you want to do it. Hopefully there was a time that you can think about that you really did embrace yourself and not care so much about what other people think about you and just being yourself. But If not, yeah, how do you alone embrace your authentic self? I think this is a really insightful prompt.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Well, number 4, speaking of embracing yourself, is when do you feel happiest in your skin? So our bodies and our minds are truly connected. It's really an important thing to honor and love both, of course. So this prompt invites you to reflect on moments where you feel truly comfortable and at peace with yourself, body, and mind.
Yeah, and what you can do here is write about a time when you felt completely at ease in your body. What were you doing? How did it feel? Maybe even try to relate all your senses to it. Where you were. Yeah. Was there any aroma there? What were you touching? Was there a gentle breeze blowing on you? That kind of thing.
Well, Jared, that kind of goes into like sometimes your memories are tied to things like that. Like if you smell something, you go, oh my gosh, that reminds me of that time, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, definitely.
Or a song, or, there's so many things about our senses that take us back to those happiest moments.
Yeah, and smelling like one of your favorite dishes can cheer you up automatically. It might not take you to a specific place, but man, it makes you feel kind of good.
That's true.
Number 5, are you a city, country, or beach person? Our environments can of course have a big impact on our mental state and happiness. This prompt will encourage you to think about where you feel most at home, whether it's the hustle and the bustle of a city, the calm of the countryside, or the serenity of the beach.
So here you can really reflect on the environment where or when you feel the most comfortable. So is it the city, the country? Are you a city mouse or are you a country mouse?
Yeah, I guess it could be a little bit of a combination.
Yeah.
But I think probably most people do lean towards one.
Or the beach.
Yeah.
And you could even take this further and go, city, country, beach, mountains, desert, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Why does this place resonate with you? Mm-hmm. This is just something that you could also, there's no right or wrong in any of these prompts. If you're all of a sudden journaling about, I'm a beach person, like that's what I would say is I'm a beach person.
Yeah.
But, I love going and visiting big cities. And oh my gosh, I really feel comfortable when I am blah, 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 doing whatever. So this can just go into other things and just... You can discover so much more about yourself as you're doing this.
Yeah, a good point there too to remark on is that like Shannon was saying, there's no right or wrong. Also, like when you're journaling, there's really no rules to it, no punctuation rules, nothing. Just whatever feels right for you. I mean, let yourself be guided by some good advice like these prompts, but ultimately just kind of do your own thing.
Interestingly enough, my therapist told me once that when I was really struggling, and I was telling her, I'm putting so much pressure on myself to even journal.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, just think about what you want to say and scribble.
Oh,
she's like, even if you can't read it, just the movement of your hand and what your thoughts are, you can find that there's a whole page of just scribble. Even if you can't read it, you were diving into those thought processes as you were doing it.
Yeah. And that kind of goes back to, I think a lot of people don't really save journals. It's kind of more the process they're into. Mm-hmm. And I mean, people do.
Some people do.
People do and reflect, but a lot of times I've heard people say, I don't really ever read back any of it. It's just the process that helps.
Yeah.
Whatever does it for you, once again.
And like Jerry mentioned at the beginning, you can use any platform that's best for you, whether it's a notebook, a notepad, digital platform. We just encourage you to designate it for your journaling. Mm-hmm. So do it separately. Have okay, this is my notebook for just my journaling, and use anything. We do, like we said, have a link in the show notes for some that if you want to go and purchase one. And then of course in the show notes, we're going to have a link to the rest of the prompts in this series. We're going to do some about journal prompts for anxiety, self-care, just different things. So
yeah.
Stick around. Let us know if there's any prompts that you want us to dig into.
We're excited to keep you inspired and keep you motivated on your journaling journey. If this episode resonated with you, or if you know of someone who would benefit from what we talked about, please share it with a friend.
It's a great way of supporting the podcast, and we really appreciate it.
Another way of supporting the pod is by leaving us a 5-star review or rating on the platform you are listening to us on.
And go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That also supports us. You can always find us, the show notes, and sponsors who support the podcast at arneradventures.com.
And until next time, enjoy the journey you're on. We're wishing you lots of adventures.
Bye-bye.